Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as my friends over at yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to work on a Crochet Baby Jacket. It is available in newborn all the way to 12 months. So newborn, 3 months, and 6 to 12 months. Today I'm going to do the newborn version with you, and I'll show you how to substitute the information that I'm about to share with you. This video has sound alerts added. When you hear this sound, it will be your signal that the segment is finishing up. Press stop and crochet the instructions, and then press play again to continue along in your project. So in today's pattern there's 3 different sizes. There's the newborn, there's the 3-month, and the 6 to 12, and you can see that there's a color differentiation between the 3 ideas. So whenever there's a decision to be made, you'll notice that there is a bracket information and there's colors, and the colors match exactly the same size. So if I'm beginning this to do the neck area and I'm doing the newborn, I'm going to say chain 46, but if I'm doing the 3 months then I'll chain 54, and if I'm doing the 6 to 12 months I do 54 as well. So whenever there's a decision to be made, or a choice or a decision at all, you'll notice that there is a color differentiation here, and so you'll have to follow that. So looking back down here, it says a second to the 6th row, but if you were doing the next size, the 3 months, is to the 8th row, and then the large size of the 6 to 12 months is to the 8th row. So you just have to look for that every time you're making a decision. So today I'm going to be using a 5mm size H crochet hook today, but it is the wrong size. I'm using Bernat Super Value just as a clear differentiation of what you're seeing on camera, but you should be using today Bernat Baby Sport. It is a smaller, thinner yarn, and you'll also need a 4mm size G crochet hook today. I don't have any of that yarn in stock, so by substituting to an H that I'm about to do, as well as making it to Super Value, it will not be the same size because there's a hook and yarn thickness difference. So make sure that you are following this information for all this in order to get to the right size. Let's take a look further into this pattern. So on page number 3 is a really cute baby, and it's wearing the little cardigan or the jacket as you see, and here's all the 3 different kinds of sizes. So you have the small, medium, and large, and you also have different sizes of hats that is also available in today's pattern. But I'm only going to be doing the jacket in today's tutorial. So here is how it's going to look, and what we're going to do is that we're going to start on the top of the jacket, work our way out, and then fold it in a certain way so that we create these arm sleeves that you have, and then we're going to make our way down. So once you do that fold, you'll notice that there's a lot less stitches and you will really truly speed up. So without further ado, let's begin to work on today's project. So let's begin to work on today's project, and remember I am using the wrong size hook and the wrong thickness of yarn, so it will not be the same size that is in the photograph. So it's easier to show you a larger sample anyway, but follow that information in order to get the right size. So we're going to begin chaining 46. So I am doing the newborn size, so substitute any information that I'm about to share with you for the other sizes if you wish to do that. So I want to chain 46, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if you're doing the 3-month size you're going to do 54, and if you're doing the 6 to 12 months it'll be 54 chains instead. So I'll see you back here, get the chain done. So let's begin to do the first row. It's the most important row of them all, and again I am doing the smallest size. So we have to double crochet 4 chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and go to the back loop of the chain, and I want you to double crochet in there just like that. So we're gonna do that, and it says 1 double crochet in each of the next 5 chains. So if you're doing the other sizes it's the next 6. So let's just do 5 for myself. So 1 and 2, we have 3, 4, and 5. So let's continue along. We're doing the whole top end of the jacket at this moment. So in the next stitch we're gonna do a V-stitch. So the V-stitch in the very next stitch is gonna be 1 double crochet followed by chain 1, and then 1 double crochet into the same chain, and that allows you to turn the corner, and that'll be important later on. So now let's continue. So it says 1 double crochet in each of the next 6 stitches, and if you're doing the other size it's 8. So let's just do 6. So 1, 2, and 3, this is 4, 5, and 6. So let's carry on. It says a V-stitch in the next chain. So the V-stitch, if you remember, is double crochet, chain 1 and double crochet. So this area that you're looking at right that you just did is actually part of the arm sleeves later on down the road. So let's carry on, and it says to do 1 double crochet in each of the next 14 stitches or 14 chains, and it's 16 if you're doing the other side. So let's do 14. So 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8, so it's 9, it's 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. So the 14 stitches right in a row, and it was 16 if you're doing the other sizes. So it says V-stitch in the next. So in the next chain, a V-stitch is a double crochet, chain 1 and double crochet. Remember, this is kind of the hardest row of getting everything started. And then what we're gonna do now is that we're gonna carry on, and we basically have to match. So this is the baby's back at this point, and this is the sleeve, and this is kind of the front. So it kind of comes around just like you see. So let's begin continuing along. So we're gonna V-stitch in the next 6. So just in the next we're gonna double crochet in the next 6. So we're gonna do 1 and it's 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6, and then a V-stitch in the next. I've done lots of baby jackets in my past, so understanding how this is done is actually pretty simple. And now what we're going to do is that we are going to double crochet the remaining of these stitches left. Okay, and there should be a total of 7 of them. So we're gonna go 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 and 7, and that's how you do it. So that is your first row going all the way around. So this is what it will look like. So let me just zoom out the camera just a little bit. Actually, I don't need to. So this is what it will look like at this point. So this here is the front of the jacket. This is the sleeves later on, and this is the back of the jacket. So let's move on to round number 2, going all the way to either row 6 or 8 depending on your size. So this is how you do all the ways from rows number 2 to 8, and if you're doing my size of the newborn, it's only to row 6. So you're going to chain up a total of 3, which counts as a double crochet, and you're going to double crochet in each double crochet across, with the exception to the V-stitches that are already in there. So let me just get you there first and show you what to do. So I'm just crocheting. So the V-stitches cause the work to expand, which makes the sweater get bigger, or the cardigan jacket, just like you see, and you crochet until you hit that V-stitch. Okay, so here is the V-stitch right here. So in the V-stitch you match it with another V-stitch or putting a double crochet into it, chain 1 and double crochet in again. So this just makes it get bigger, and now you just crochet again along until you hit the next V-stitch. And then what do you do in the V-stitch? Well, you add another one, right? So you do that all the way across on this particular jacket, and it's actually really quite easy to do. I like these. So a lot of people email with these kind of jackets, can this be done concept for an adult or even a much bigger child? And the answer is no, because our bodies grow in different rates. So it works out for a baby, but we get taller or wider in different coordinations, so it doesn't work out, but it does work for babies. So in the next V-stitch you're gonna match it to a V-stitch. So put another V-stitch in, and then just carry along and double crochet. So what I want you to do is that I'm gonna meet you at the end of this row, and as you're just double crocheting across, you're gonna hit another V-stitch, double crochet, you're gonna hit another V-stitch, and I'll meet you at the end of this row to make sure that you got it straight. And then I'm gonna leave the rest of the rows for you, and then I'll be back after that. So I'm coming up to the end of row number 2. You want to make sure that you're recording your rows so that you can get the right row count. So this is row number 2 we're finishing, and there's still 2 stitches left. Don't forget that turning chain in the very beginning is also a stitch. So just go right into the turning chain itself and just double crochet. So now you're just gonna turn your work and do rows now 3 to 6 if you're doing the small, or 3 to 8. Again, just chain up 3, which counts as the double crochet across, and the V-stitch, put another V-stitch, and so on. And you're going to notice that this will get much bigger as it grows outward. So please do this now to the size that you want. It's either the 6th row or the 8th, depending on which size you're working on. I'll see you at the end of that. So when I last left you, I told you to get the rounds done. You're either finished on round number 6 for the newborn, or you finished on round number 8 for the other 2 sizes. So now it says to divide the sleeves and the body. So how exactly do you do that? So what you're looking at here, right here, is the top of the shoulders. This is the front panel. Now it doesn't look like that right now because you haven't folded it yet. So we're going to start, and we're going to begin to crochet ourselves along. So let's begin to do that, and we're just gonna chain up 3, and you're just gonna double crochet yourself all the way until you get to the first V-stitch. So it says what the count is, but it doesn't really matter. Just look for the first V-stitch that we're going to go. So we're just gonna continue along. I'm looking off camera as I do this to make sure I understand the instructions. And it says to do 1 double crochet in the chain 1 of the V-stitch when we get there. So we'll make sure that we do that. So we're just double crocheting across, and we're gonna be dividing this as we go in this row. That's why I'm kind of dragging you along. So we're gonna do 1 double crochet in the V-stitch right here. So just double crochet, and then it says to chain 6 or 8 depending on your size. So I'm going to do 6 for my size. So we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This is under the armpit of the child, this piece that you're doing right here. And then what you're going to do is that you're going to skip all of the rest of this section right here. Skip it and just fold it in front of you like so, and then you're going to double crochet in the next chain 1 space, which is the next V-stitch. So just double crochet like so. So this just became the arm. Do you see that? So now you're just gonna continue to double crochet yourself across the back of your jacket, and I'll see you at the next folding area, which is gonna be over here. I'll see you there in just a moment. So I'm still coming across the back, and this is the first V-stitch. This here is on top of the shoulder, which we're gonna fold in just a moment. So we're going across the back until we hit the V-stitch, and we're gonna put a double crochet inside that chain 1 of the V-stitch. So here's the V-stitch. You're gonna double crochet. Now the chain number is the same number that you did on the other side. So if it's either 6 or 8, in my case it's 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and just fold it up towards you, and then go to the other V-stitch on the other side, and then just double crochet into that spot, and then double crochet yourself all the way to the end of this. So because you've just done this now, you've just now folded your jacket in a way that makes sense. Also there's gonna be far less stitches to go across back and forth, and we're gonna then cover the next row, which is gonna fill in that area right underneath the arms, and then we're gonna start growing the jacket down toward the waist, which does not take a lot of time because there's less stitches to work with. So I'm just getting you to the end of this, and then I'll show you what it looks like at this point. So some baby dresses are actually made like this as well, but they're not with no hole in the middle. So now I can just look at it now. So this is what the jacket looks like. Okay, and you can see that's been folded, and you have the arm sleeves now. So when the baby's wearing it, it can just slide in. So let's start the next row, and then we're gonna continue along from that point. So now we're gonna continue the next row, and we're gonna chain up 3 to begin. and that counts as a double crochet. And the only difference in this row and then all the other rows from this point forward is the fact that you have the chain right here underneath. So when you get to that chain, we're gonna fill that in. I'll show you how to do that, and then I'm gonna leave the rest of the row for you, and then I'm going to then just kick you off in the next row, and then you're gonna get it all the way down to the waist area. Jackets are really not hard to make if you keep yourself organized mentally in your mind. So I'm just double crocheting across. So it's no longer growing out. Now it's gonna grow down on the baby's body. If the baby was wearing it right now, you go right into the last one. So we knew that we had 6 chains here, so we're going to then just go into 6 of the chains. So 1, so I'm gonna count it to make sure I get it right, and I'm gonna do 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6. This was the last one. I only chained 6 there, and then you're right back on the project again on the other main area. So that just helped you just bridge that gap over. And so you're gonna just crochet along to the other side, again fill in the gap that will exist on the other chain, and then I'll meet you at the end of this row in just a moment. Okay, so now I'm back. I've gone all the way to the end of the row. I can see that I filled in my arms just like you see. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna go back and forth now with just 1 double crochet in each, and keep on going back and forth until I get to a certain measurement. So for the newborn size, from this bottom right here all the way down to 5 inches is the newborn size, and then it's 5.5 inches all the way down from this point for the 3-month size, and then for the other size of 6 to 12 months it's 6.5 inches. So I want you to double crochet to get to the dimension that you need. So you're gonna end up way down here somewhere, and then when you're gonna do that, you're gonna come back here, and then we're gonna start doing some sleeve work after that. So I've now come up to the end, and I've gone my 5 inches just like you needed to go, and this was for the newborn size. So it was 5.5 if you were doing the 3-month, and it was 6.5 if you were doing the 6 to 12 months. So once I get this done, I want to just fasten this off, and I'm going to weave in all my stuff at the end of this project. It's not a very big project generally, so I'm just gonna let it just tie onto itself like so, and there is my little jacket just like you see. So I can align it properly, and now we're gonna concentrate on doing the sleeve work first, and then we're gonna come back and do the button section later. So let's begin to do sleeve number 1, and I don't think it matters which side that you start with because they're both identical. So let's begin to do at least one, and I'll show you that, and then you'll do both on your own. So looking at the outside of the jacket, this is where the arm will come out, and I'm just going to create a slip knot to begin, and I want to go in the middle. So there was 6 stitches here, okay, just right here. So just choose either probably this one or this one. It doesn't really matter as long as it's in the middle, and you're going to choose that, and you're going to insert in, and you're going to just pull through and then chain up 3. So 1, 2, 3, and all you just need to do is circle around this. Okay, so make sure that you're catching all the stitches in. So I just started over. I got 2 more left on this bottom section on this side. Okay, so 1 and 2. So I'm just keeping counts. It's important. I've done sleeves before where I haven't keep count when I was first doing the crochet crowd, and what happens when that happens is that you end up screwing up, because the fact is that you end up with a project that has one sleeve bigger than the other. So now once you get those 3 done, you're immediately gonna jump to the top of the section here, okay, the arms, and just go right in at the double crochet into the first stitch. Now you're going to end up with the gap right here. You're going to use a darning needle and sew that in later, but don't worry about that right now. Don't fill it in, because then it will look inconsistent, and then you'll be off with your count. So you're just gonna double crochet yourself around. So if you're doing this size of the newborn, it was 24 inches or 24 double crochets around. If you're doing the 3 months, it's 30, and if you're doing the 6 to 12 months, it's 32 stitches around. So I'm just making my way around. The nice thing about it is that it's a sleeve, so this is gonna go relatively quickly, and your sleeve length for this one for the newborn size will be only 4.5 inches. It'll be 5.5 if you're doing 3 months, and it will be 6 inches if you were doing the 6 to 12 months of size. So you can see that the arms change lengths as the child gets older. So you're gonna go right into the very last one of this side here, and then you're gonna immediately just jump down to the chain. Okay, so jump down to the chain, so you have 3 left here on the chain. So just coming right down, and again you'll be left with a small gap here. You're going to fill that in with the darning needle, so you're just going to pull that in together at the end. It's the best way to do it. And then once you get all the way around, which I just did, you're going to slip stitch to the top of the first chain 3 like so, and then you're going to begin again. So to start up every other round now going forward, you're going to chain up 3, and it's just 1 double crochet in each of the double crochets all the way around, then slip stitch it to the top of the chain 3 and then begin again. How many inches do you need to have? It's 4.5 inches for the newborn, it's 5.5 for the 3-month, and it's 6 then for the 6 to 12 months. I'll leave that in your capable hands, and then I'll show you how to close that later as well. You'll need to do both sleeves, so I'm gonna leave that in your capable hands now, and I'll see you at the end of doing the sleeve area. So I've just finished 4.5 inches of this of one sleeve, and I'm gonna do the other side just the way I just showed you, and I'm just gonna fasten off, and I'll leave in this later and I'll come back to it. So this is what it looks like so far. I just got one sleeve completely done, and now I'm gonna go and do the other sleeve next. So let me start over here again, starting in the middle just like you see. I'm gonna choose the 1 and then just go all the way around. Keep your counts. It either be 24, what did we have here all the way around? We had a total of 24 stitches for my size, 30 stitches for the 3-month size, and 32 for the 6 to 12 month size. So please do the same thing, and let's do sleeve number 2. And what I'd highly recommend is that because I used a measuring tape of this, I'm gonna make sure that the sleeve totally matches before finishing off as well, because sometimes things happen and you never measure the same thing twice. So make sure that you just kind of fold it over and just check to make sure that the sleeves are exactly the same. I'll see you at the end of the sleeve. Just do it exactly the way I just showed you with this one. So now I got both my sleeves done. I want to show you how I'm gonna fill in this hole, and you'll have it on the back side as well, in the back here, and you just want to fill it in with just a darning needle and some extra yarn, and that's just part of the process, you know, clothing and etc. So I'm creating a slip knot on one side, and I'm creating a darning needle space on the other side. So what I want to do is that I want to open up this jacket to where I can see it on the inside, right inside, and I'm going to drag my needle just through fibers that appear on the inside of the jacket. So if I see this coming out on the other side, let me just zoom in real quick here, and if I zoom in real quick, let's go. So it's only on the fibers on the inside. I'm just going to drag through, and I'm just gonna drag it until I see that slip knot appear, and I'm going to put the darning needle through the slip knot, and then I'm gonna pull on it nice and tight there. So now what I'm just gonna do is just go into another section, and again keeping to the fibers on this side of the project, which is the inside, and then just pull. And what that will do is it'll close in that hole. Just like so. That's all I have to do. So now I'm just gonna do a quick tie on this side, and I'm gonna do all 4 of those holes. So you have 2 on both arms, and then all I'm just gonna do now that I've got that tied, just weave in that into the fibers on this side of the jacket. So if I turn this over and see that needle coming through, I know that I'm too deep. So just make sure that you're good. And just pull on through, and that's all you got to do. So you're going to do that on all sides of that. Now the original one over here, this was the original string. I can get rid of that because I buried that as I went. Now you'll have the string that was left over from the starting slip knot, so just take that string. It's already been tied because you did a slip knot already, and all you're just going to do is just drag it through a few of the fibers as well. Key is just not to go deep, that you don't see it on the other side. And I want you to do, so you just have to drag it once and then trim. So what I want you to do is I want you to do the same with the one on the back. Just close it off, and then I want you then to do the other sleeve as well, doing the same thing. You can see it clearly obvious there, and it's on the back of that one as well. And then what I want to do is that I want to show you now how to finish the strands off. So I don't want to impede on the edging. So let me just get this done and put that leftover strand that you had from the sleeves. You're gonna do this for all of them, including the top area and the bottom. And what you want to do is you want to drag that yarn underneath into the stitches. So don't go onto the top of this at all, because that's where that's where you'll see it if the child's wearing it. So just go underneath the stitches once, go back underneath the stitches again twice, and back again 3 times. So third time is a charm, and then you can just safely trim that out. Just give it a bit of a stretch and then trim, and you're gonna do that with all of them as well, so then you can completely finish that off just like you see. So please do that with all your yarn ends now. Fill in this area, and then we're gonna do the almost finished now. We're gonna do the button areas right here in the front next. So let's begin the button band. We're gonna start with the first one on this side. So look at your project, face it down, and then you want this one. So now let's turn it on its side, and what we're going to do is that we're gonna single crochet ourselves across. So let's create a little slip knot, and we just have to equally space single crochets all the way down. So starting right on the top outside double crochet here, just go right into the actual stitch. Don't go to a space, go to a stitch, and then you're just gonna join it with the slip stitch, chain 1 and 1 single crochet into the same spot. So now what you want to do, just going down through, don't go into any kind of like chains or like posts or anything, just stick right in the chains and just equally space out single crochets going all the way down to the base. So you're only going to the base and then back up. So this side of here, the button will be sewed at the top here, and then it will then have a space on the other side once we get there where that button will feed itself through. So just go right into an actual chain work itself, and I'll see you at the bottom of this jacket. Once you get all the way to the base, I'm just about to hit there now, you just stop, turn your work, turn it around, and you need to do 2 more rows of just single crochets back and forth. So just chain up 1 and 1 single crochet in each, going all the way back up. So the hard work's pretty much done because you've already established the spacing out of the stitches. And then when you get to the top of this, just turn your work, chain 1 and single crochet all the way back, and I'll meet you at the end of that row. So that'll be the 3rd row. This is number 2. I'll see you then. So I'm at the end of row number 3 now. I'm just gonna trim my work. I'm gonna hide in my end with the darning needle, and then that's it for this side. And then we're gonna do 3 rows on the other side, but the other side has the buttonhole, so we have to pay attention to that one, and I believe that is in the 2nd row from what I'm seeing. So in the other one, while I'm doing this, in the other side, what's happening is that we're gonna start off in the, see how I'm hiding this in? So we're gonna start off in the bottom of the jacket. We started on the top of the jacket this time on this side, but the other side, in order to keep the look, we have to start at the bottom. So again, going in and out 3 times hides in those loose ends permanently, and you have a really good finish. So let's move to the other side of the jacket, and then let's begin to do that next. So you can see what it looks like. You even see in the model that you can see the little bit of space here. It's not a big deal, but look at the difference of finished versus not. It's quite significant. It looks much better. So we're gonna start on the bottom this time. Last time we started on the top. This time we're gonna start at the base. So let's begin at the base, and what are we gonna do? We're going to attach it with the slip stitch right in the corner 1. We'll go right into an actual chain. Don't go into a space. Chain 1 and then equally space the single crochet all the way back up the other side, just like you had before. And again, make sure you go into a chain. Don't go into any spaces, because it'll make the spaces look bigger than they should be. So just equally space your single crochets going up, and I'll see you at the end of this row, and then we'll carry on from that point. So we're now gonna turn our work. I've come up all the way, and the 2nd row has the buttonhole in it, and it's right at the very top. There's only 1 button that's required. So we're gonna start off this row. So chain 1 and single crochet in the first one. Here's the buttonhole right here. We're gonna chain 1, skip 1, and we are going to single crochet in the next. So that little spot that you just did right here, that is your buttonhole. So you're going to use a regular thread and needle with a button that will fit through there in order to make that work, and I'm gonna leave that for you to be able to do that. And if you're not sure how to attach buttons, of course there's YouTube videos on how to do that as well, and it's just a regular darning needle, or sorry, regular yarn and thread and a needle, or sorry, a button to do that. So just I'm double crocheting, sorry, I'm single crocheting all the way down. I have no idea what I'm saying right now. It's been a great day here, and we're just got one more row to do after we get down to the base, and it's really quite simple. Actually, this jacket went a lot quicker than I expected it to go. You know, there's some projects where you realize that you're gonna commit to a long time frame. This is definitely not one of them, and I think it's great for that. So I'm coming all the way to the base, right down to where it started, and then once I get down there, we're gonna just go up one more row. So just turn your work and then just chain up one, and you are going to single crochet yourself solidly all the way back. When you get to that chain one space that you had created, you're gonna go right into that chain one space that you did as well in order to kind of really open that up. So it's really kind of an easy pattern to do. If you haven't noticed, I am going to do the hat as well in tutorial format. I just did this one first. I was gonna do the hat first because I thought, you know, do the easy stuff first, but sometimes doing the hard stuff first makes the easy stuff fly really easy, and then you don't dread it. I don't know if you ever procrastinate whenever you're doing projects at all, where you leave the hard stuff to the last. So I kinda wanted to do opposite this time. So I'm just crocheting myself, single crocheting all the way back to the top, keeping an eye out for that single crochet which is coming up soon, and I'm gonna go right into that space which is next. So here it is. So I'm gonna go right into that space. It'll open it up a little bit more, and then single crochet in the final. So that's all you have to do for this particular pattern. Just gotta sew on your button next. Just make sure you take a good your time sewing on the button. You don't want anything to be a choking hazard. Just really make sure it is nice and secure. A lot of people don't like to put buttons on their baby stuff, but I think it's a personal decision, and I think if you put the time into it and really fixing it, I like to put on buttons with upholstery thread instead of just regular thread, because that stuff just doesn't go anywhere once you attach something to it, if you've ever done it. It's the same kind of thing you do to sew up canvas and stuff. So it's exceptionally strong, and that's kind of what you want as well. So I'm just hiding in my loose ends, and that's it for today's baby jacket. And I'm making on behalf of Yarn Inspirations as well as the crochetcrowd.com. So I just can have my little jacket now, and my buttonhole is here, so I'm going to attach my button here, and then it'll safely just join like so, and then you're good to go. So until next time, I'm Mikey, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.